Peace and understanding, class. Good morning. Just posting a quick video. I hope that everyone is safe, re-energizing themselves and preparing to come back for the final stretch of the semester. We will be continuing with what we're doing. Some assignments have been posted online, but the purpose of this brief video is just to make contact. So the test that we mentioned before you left that I was going to post online during this break, I decided to cancel that. But that does not free you from studying and focusing on your information. So the test will not be posted online. We will take the test when we get back one day next week. It will definitely be when we return, maybe Thursday for my Tuesday and Thursday classes, and Friday for my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday class. So please continue to study. Please continue to turn in the Chapter 19 review. I also, in addition to that, went back and opened Chapter 16 in an effort to try to assist you guys in turning in work that you had been negligent in doing due to whatever the fact it is. But let me say, once we return, hear me clearly, once we return from the break, if we have not already discussed something that's going on, family issues, transportation, and you've talked to me one-on-one. Other than that, and we've reached some form of agreement that I approve for you to turn in work late, that is the only late work I am accepting going forward. Let me repeat myself. Once we return from this break, we will not be accepting late work. You're going to be held with your foot to the fire to finish and be responsible. That is an exercise in being responsible, and it is your duty to be aware of the information. It is your duty to be cognizant of when things are due. That's called being responsible. I really appreciate those students that reach out in an attempt to explain what's going on. And if they input in their email that, hey, I know I'm not making an excuse, as you said, it was my fault, I'm being responsible. I listen to those types of messages and will be more inclined to perhaps assist or give a little leeway. Not just because you're saying it. Sometimes we have to learn from facing the consequences. The best teacher is experience. So please work diligently to turn in your things on time. Work diligently to be aware of when things are due. And let's do our best to finish the semester strong. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm actually came up on campus today to check some things and get something out of my office. But please, let's do our best to finish strong. Let's do our best to reach our maximum potential and see potential in the moment. I told you at the beginning of the semester, start with the end in mind. Everything you do should be focused on the end game. The end game is just merely your goal. If you ask yourself every day, what can I do today to make me better? What can be done today that will enhance me? It could be a baby step. Nothing's magic is going to happen. You're not going to miraculously be a scholar or anything overnight. It takes work and it is a process. However, if you lay a brick every day, eventually you'll have a wall. Okay? But strive to work on your time management. We waste so much precious time. That's our most require natural asset. You can't get time back that you've wasted. So see potential in the moment. I was reading the email from a young lady who I won't say her name, and in the close of the email, she said that she had some things going on. She lost her focus, and before she realized it, she was behind. That's an example of what I'm talking about. That comes from lack of focus. That comes from not setting goals and getting off track. And you can get off track if you don't set a goal. If you don't think about the end game and ask yourself every day, what is it that I can do better? How can I enhance my situation? Strive to do what is difficult until it becomes simple. Strive to study what is hard until it becomes easy. Strive to reach your maximum potential. Do your best and remove all obstacles in your path. Strive to master yourself and be the best possible you. And mostly be responsible. So again, to reiterate, the test is not this week. I've been getting some emails. We will take the test when we return. And remember, life is a series of choices. Every choice has an outcome, good or bad, based on your options. And furthermore, you will be judged by your decisions. Your decisions will show, people will judge you or judge you from your decision. But you're looking for the best possible outcome. And the best possible outcome will come with intellect over emotion. Everything's not going to feel good. Everything's not going to be fun. But as young adults, intellect over emotion. Doing what's done because it needs to be done. Not because it's fun, not because it's boring. It needs to be done because it is a component of you focusing on the end game. The end game. Now, if your end game is fun and blah, 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 floating around in the wind, whatever you feel like doing, sleeping all day, that's fine. That's your goal. But focus on the end game and always remember intellect over emotion. That's when you will move into adulthood. There's a lot of adults that don't, it's not fun, it's boring, blah, blah, blah. Everyone has things that they would rather be doing than laying on the beach drinking the Corona. But if you have goals set and you're trying to do something just as an athlete works out to get stronger to be the best in competition, just like the dancing dolls practice and get better, you see the finished product. The dancing dolls just don't throw themselves together and say, all right, we're going to go and do this. It's a process. The band is a process. So focus on your test, study Chapter 19, Scientific Revolution. The Enlightenment, we're going to discuss some very hard-hitting facts as we move in closer and discuss more the church and how they viewed the Enlightenment movement. I told you some things about the church's reaction and calling those who were moving toward logic and reason heretics. And they even began to jail and imprison. As I said, Galileo was imprisoned and tortured. He made the telescope in 1609 and developed some things that the church was not pleased with because it contradicted their narrative. Remember, we talked about the Aristotelian universe with the sun being the center of the universe, the earth, and everything rotated around the earth. You had the Copernican model, that said, no, the earth is not the center of the universe. The sun is the center of the universe. And everything